like it's legitimately funny. Like it seems like a
interesting.
comedian wrote the article rather than like
Ah,
it's really good. It's really catchy, I would say.
all right.
Let's see here. I should probably get up the pages file that I look at every time we record.
Mitch, your family been sick?
They were sick over the holidays, and then it all got better by the time they went to school this week. But then yesterday got a call from Albert and Adelaide's daycare that I had to go pick them up because they had an exposure on Monday. So tested them to this morning. It was weird. Like Adelaide must have only like in passing seen this teacher or something that got it, and so they let her go back today. But Albert has to quarantine for 7 days. So he's home with us for 7 days, which he's the worst possible one to have quarantine with, to be quarantined with. It's absolutely fucking horrible.
I think I have his water bottle.
Oh yes, you do. I hear about that whenever my wife gets mad at me. She'll bring up that flask is still not back in my possession. That's the last time I saw you in person, I think.
Yes, and that's just on me. I just haven't sent it. I didn't realize
you don't have to send. No. You don't have to send it. I thought we were gonna like, yeah. I don't know. Whatever. Don't worry about it. We bought new ones, so.
Well, I'll send it to you directly to you in a covert box, so you can pull it out in a fight and be like,
that would be awesome. I could throw it at her.
Here's your fucking flask. Fuck.
Alright, you guys ready to go?
Pull it out at the right moment.
You guys good?
Always do.
Yeah, we good.
Always.
Welcome to the Good Guys to Know podcast. Good Guys to Know podcast. Welcome to the Good Guys to Know podcast. Good Guys to Know podcast. Good Guys to Know podcast. Good Guys to Know podcast.
Welcome to the Good Guys to Know podcast, a bi-weekly production bringing you information on a variety of topics guaranteed to mold you into a good guy to know. My name is Gio. It is my pleasure to introduce you to the rest of the Good Guys to Know. We've got Peric.
What's up, everybody?
And Mitch.
Hey guys.
And Chad.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And as Good Guys to Know, we like to start each episode with one of our favorite drinks in hand. I saw like this Facebook post or something that was like, can you believe the best beer in the world is from Decorah, Iowa?
Oh, I believe it.
And yeah, so I'm not drinking the best beer in the world, but I'm drinking my favorite beer that's brewed in Decorah, Iowa, which is Pseudo Sue.
Which was the best one? Yeah.
I think it's the
Their bourbon barrel stout.
is it
stuff,
Morning
right?
Delight?
And
Morning Delight.
And is it
Kentucky
the best
Brunch. Kentucky Brunch.
Yeah.
And is it the best of some like small, tiny niche style?
I think it's like the highest rated beer ever on like Beer Advocate.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting.
There's a crazy story about that. Like, Peric and I's brother-in-law lives in Decorah, and like one Christmas he just shows up with like a 6-pack of it. And this stuff is like a single bottle, like a
Like people
12-ounce
travel
bottle.
from across the country to wait in line. It's one of those beers, and he just like got a few of them and brought it up, and we opened them. I think I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. He gave them as a gift, and one of us sold one of them. You can sell them for a few $100.
I sold one last year. The highest one, I think, one of them that was sold the first year that we had it was like $800 or $900 for a
like a
12-ounce bottle of beer.
A single bottle?
A single bottle. Yes. I sold one this year for like $250. So it's weird. Weird stuff. But Decorah, Iowa, toppling Goliath, good stuff. Peric, what are you drinking?
It's getting to be tequila season. So
tequila season. Ooh, I like that glass. I like that Ryder Cup glass.
Oh,
Let me see that thing. What year is on that glass?
But had it
It's
fresh off
glass.
the porch.
The tequila.
Keeping that bottle of tequila out on the deck.
That's a 2020 win for Team Europe.
Yeah, it's starting to kind of fall apart. I probably shouldn't be putting it in the dishwasher, but
I can't wait for you guys to see the 2021s or
We should probably get
2022s.
another one.
I've got a 2021 as well, Gio. So I've seen that.
Yeah, they're nice.
Don't remember those either. Don't
Thank
remember
God.
Oh,
those
it's
either.
okay, Gio. I've got one right here.
Oh, that's what they look like in 2021. That's great.
Yeah, that was a nice one. We took the show to Bewabic, Minnesota, instead of Palm Springs. So
Yep.
I'm
Does this say retained somewhere on there? I can't quite tell.
nope, just says champions.
Just champions. It must be a typo.
This is a prairie cucumber flavored vodka with lime LaCroix and a couple limes, and it's very good. This vodka is the best vodka I've ever had. Now, I'm not a big vodka drinker, so I'm sure it's very run of the mill to people who know what they're talking about, but it's like water. I'm usually not like a straight liquor guy, as you guys know. I like my beer, but this stuff goes down real easy.
All
Drink it
right.
at work.
So we've got, what's that?
You could drink it at work.
Work?
Cops
Yeah.
can't smell it.
When you're in the
Smells
gym,
like water.
just need to hydrate. Just goes right down. It's easy. Sometimes go down easier than water.
Chad, I feel like it's usually like you and I versus Peric and Mitch. Like that's how the show breaks down.
Yeah.
But when you say things like that, like cucumber vodka with a LaCroix,
Lime
spritz,
LaCroix. It's very
something like
Mitchian.
that, I
Yeah.
feel betrayed in a way that you probably don't understand.
My favorite mix was with a Sprite, but we didn't have any, and we did have some lime LaCroix. I gotta be honest, this is almost sacrilegious in this particular group of people. I am not a LaCroix fan. It doesn't have enough taste
More for us.
me. I've said many times over that my taste buds are like,
More for the rest of us. More for the rest of us. I like it, Peric.
I'm the opposite of a super taster, which is why I'm drawn to like the hoppiest beer ever and like my coffee black and all of that. But this is fine. It's good.
Ringing endorsement from Chad on the best vodka ever.
I meant the mixer. The vodka is
okay.
excellent. Will buy
Okay,
again
okay.
and recommend. Yes.
Fair enough. What about you, Mitch?
And I've got a Fulton hard seltzer, citrus ginger, left over from the holidays. I think the last bit of booze in our house from over the holidays. So it's okay. I'm not a hard seltzer guy, but it was either this or red wine, and I ain't doing that. Homie, don't play that game.
Really? Why?
I love red wine.
Yeah.
No, I'm over it. I tried for probably a decade to be okay with it or like it, and I just don't.
You just don't
Makes
like
your
the
mouth
taste?
all red. Don't like the taste.
I don't
Don't
like
like the way it makes me
mouth
feel.
stains.
Just nothing. Absolutely nothing appealing to me about it. I'm never gonna have any red wine again.
And you chew tobacco sometimes, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like,
maybe once or twice a year.
for
Yeah,
a guy who cares about a red wine stain in his
yeah.
mouth.
I don't care about like any permanent stains. I just don't like that right away. Like you talk
Yeah.
and your like teeth are all gross and yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
yeah.
It's also like you go out so much, so it's like you're always around different people who see that red
Right.
face and they're
Right.
like, "Oh, look at fucking
Yeah.
Mitch again."
Like remember that
Drunky
last time we were at
wino.
happy hour with Mitch,
Wow.
and again he drank the wine, and again he had those red
Wino
teeth.
over here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Every happy hour.
Right,
Every
it-
happy hour.
But the teeth,
I
they
get
don't
it.
get red. They get like bluish purple. It's the
Yeah.
weirdest thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't really know what's happening.
And then when you brush your teeth that night, it's like all in the sink, and it's like, are my teeth actually clean or not? Like,
you brush your teeth? Dude.
yeah, most nights, especially after red wine. Got to get that taste out somehow.
I like red wine.
We're gonna tangent here. Sorry, Peric. Have you guys seen these charcoal toothbrushes?
Toothpaste, right?
Toothbrushes. They've like now made a toothbrush that has like charcoal infused bristles.
I feel like I've seen like gifs of this come across Instagram where someone's like doing like the really fast and their mouth is just looks like
Black.
they've just eaten coal, which
I think that
sounds like they have.
I think it's real. So I saw these at the grocery store the other day and bought some, and then got home and I was like, I showed my wife. I was like, check out these. How sweet are these? And she was like, I don't think that's a good idea. And so then I was like, maybe it's not a good idea. So I looked it up, and it's probably not a good idea. Is the answer?
Really?
It's just like there is scientific evidence that it like makes your mouth cleaner, gives you fresher breath, and actually whitens teeth. But there's like no long-term studies on this stuff. And so there's like lots of questions about like if you're putting charcoal in your mouth every day for years, what is like the side effect of that? Like I think there's some
Nothing ever happened to the
certainly
coal
question.
miners. They were fine.
So the answer is yes, it is probably good short term, but long term there is no information. So that was enough for me to pass.
Just like vaccines, I guess.
Oh God.
Take it away,
Hypocrite.
Mitch.
Hypocrite.
All right, Barrick, what are you drinking?
I already went, bro.
Oh yeah, he
already
has
went.
tequila.
Oh yeah,
His
who didn't go?
2020
We all went
glass.
already.
Yep.
Sorry,
We've all
Sorry,
gone even.
Okay. Well,
No, we went.
then let's move on. So now is the time where we talk about year-long challenges and year recap or challenge recap for the whole year. Spoiler alert, I didn't do anything for the challenge recap.
Oh, any
Zero.
preparation?
No, none. Zero. So
Minnick
we
did
have
it.
no idea. There's literally no way to know. None of these things were recorded and stored in any place. So it's literally impossible to know who would have won or who would have lost. I 100% will take a loss, not just because I didn't do the work at the end of the year like I typically do, but also because I didn't do very many challenges this year. So I'm
Oh.
very comfortable calling it a 3-way tie. Oh, Peric, you want to jump on the sinking ship with me?
No. Keep going. No, I don't want to interrupt
Three-way
you.
tie. Three-way tie. Go ahead. You guys can all have it. I will go down with the ship on this one. That's
Wow.
all. I'm
So
gonna
that's
say.
it?
I don't have anything else. I don't have
Is that
anything
it?
else to say.
I mean, like,
Let's at least talk. Let me go out to the web here.
take it from there.
Minnick
What
did.
are you gonna do, Peric? I need to know.
Well, he did put together a little list.
did see that.
Not of all the challenges, I don't think. We just have
More than
15
Geo
of them.
Scott.
But 15 of them are listed, right? I just had kind of forgotten what we had done, and so it's always fun for me during this year.
Right, yeah, that's one of my favorite parts too, is to like have Geo slowly read through each
Yeah.
challenge, and then we react. Oh yeah, remember that one? That
Yeah,
kind of
so-
stuff. But
We started with eat an exotic food,
Oh,
which I don't even really remember.
I was thinking about this before we sat down. Before we go through the rest of that list, when did we make the legitimate switch to Discord? Was that 2020 or was that 2021?
Discord or Twitch?
Twitch.
Twitch.
2021.
I think it was this year. I think it was right around January of last
No.
year.
So during the beginning of the pandemic, we didn't like in
God,
2020.
I'm so
Like
bad with this type
go
of
back to May 2020.
Well, let me go back.
Everything was locked
Yeah,
down. Everything.
When was our
beginning of our
Twitch? When was
Discord.
our Twitch created?
Or just look for the time when our listenership fell off a cliff.
No, where it got refined and distilled into only the good ones.
distilled when the cream rose to the top?
So-
the maple syrup.
Our Discord challenges, where we did the Jenga challenge, that was in December of 2020,
So at the end of the year,
and that must have been on Twitch
Twitch.
at the end of the year
Okay.
2020, though.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So at the very so 2020 was a regular iTunes year, probably.
Yeah, because at the end of 2020, we were trying to get ourselves to whatever affiliate and all
yes,
that
we
stuff.
played
and
those games. We played those You Don't Know Jack. We streamed backgammon. Okay.
That was all December.
That sets the
2020.
context a little bit better for me for these. Okay, so
So
let's also
This would have been the first year, yeah, where we didn't have a way to keep track
right.
at the end of the year
nailed it.
of all the
Right.
challenges we did. Yeah.
Okay, so which one did Minnick list out?
So he listed out eat an exotic food, watch mukbang. I remember that. I haven't been
Oh,
back
yeah,
to
that
mukbang,
was-
but it's still
Ugh.
there.
Weird.
Everyday carry. Drink another good guy's drink. That one, I
Okay.
think I had drank too much during that episode, so I sort of got confused on that one. I vaguely recall that. Watch TikTok. That's funny one to look back at because I think I didn't participate in it because I didn't want to be like monitored by the Chinese government.
Right.
But over the last month, I have watched so much TikTok. So,
I'm
TikTok's
still
the
not
problem.
into TikTok. I'm still. I
Don't-
it just
me
never
neither.
looked.
Start.
I deleted
Don't
it last week. Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's poison.
I'm very much Reddit all the time, but not TikTok.
We had the treat yourself challenge. We had a go bag
That
or
was
panic
nice.
bag.
Oh yeah.
That was interesting.
The one where I built a golf simulator. Well, I forget what that one was. It was to
Make something.
It's like a woodworking challenge or something like that.
We did one like that.
No, I don't think it was. I don't think it was specific to building. I think it was maybe just like pick something that you've been meaning to do to build
Yeah.
or something. Like
Mm.
that. I don't know. Eat childhood food or kids' food. That was fun.
That was a good challenge. You guys remember what you ate?
I didn't. I don't think I participated.
I think I skipped it too.
Like
Ooh, I got
I
those
think I-
circus
like a sugar
peanuts.
cereal. Oh yeah.
I think I had some cereal that was like the kids had already had or something. I didn't actively seek it out.
Did you guys see that
I
I
got
got those
SpaghettiOs.
peanuts for Christmas from
Oh, yeah.
listener Kyle?
Did you eat them? Did you eat them?
God no! I posted that I just threw them away. That's exactly what I did. They went straight in the garbage.
Oh man.
Angie totally agrees with me. They're the worst candy ever invented. I'm not exposing my kids to that junk. No way.
That seems like an interesting challenge. Identify the worst candy in the world.
It's circus peanuts.
Challenge
We had-
over.
We had the
Yes.
little library challenge. Read something from one of your little free libraries.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I never returned that book.
You don't have to return.
I think they expect a lot of shrink.
A lot of theft, as some people would call it.
They don't
Interest-
expect it from me though. Mine was outside of my kids' daycare. It was all children's books.
Actually, my romance novel is still in my nightstand, unfinished.
I don't think you're really
Still
supposed to
unfinished.
return the book that you
I've
bought. You're
read it
supposed to
4
return a different
times.
book. You're supposed
you
to
bring it-
keep it
oh, okay.
fresh.
Right.
Yeah.
like a-
Don't you? Otherwise,
like a
it would just
penny
be the same
jar, right?
library.
Yeah.
Well, it's more like take a penny, leave a nickel.
Mm-hmm.
You want to leave something different.
Yes.
But interesting
yes.
side note: my wife goes to the library all the time and just comes back with. She maxes out her holds and like comes back with bags full of books for the kids. And she does it at the Hennepin County Library, and then also goes to Carver County Libraries. And so we
Oh
just
my
have
god.
ridiculous amounts of books.
Oh
But
my
I was
God.
talking to her the other day. I was like, "How do you keep all these straight? Like, how could you possibly not be losing books all the time?" And she was like, well, they don't have late fees anymore in Hennepin County. Like, they don't even have them.
Serious?
And I don't know if that was a pandemic thing or not, but and then even if it is a late fee, it's like
that's
a
interesting.
nickel. It's like a
Right.
nickel a month or something. So
And you have to hit it like 5 years before you get a late fee. Like it
Right.
is
Yeah,
the
I
most
think you don't even have to
gratuitous
pay the
rental
late fee.
program ever.
Yeah.
I feel like I got a library card right at the beginning of my adult life, and then I like got another one like 8 years later after I'd been to the library once,
Well-
and I think I had a balance, and they were like, "Would you like to pay your balance today?" And like gave me and I was like, "Oh my god, what is it?" She's like $7.50 or something, like $7.50. I was like, "Oh, can I wait?" They're like, "Oh, of course, you can totally wait." She's like, "All right, I'll wait then."
put it off a little. Didn't we do a library card challenge?
Did we do Libby?
To
We
get a
did
library, some
yeah.
year we
No,
did.
we did like but wasn't it like online like Libby or something like that?
We did
like,
a Libby thing where you could, because I still get audiobooks on there sometimes.
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
great.
a perfect system, but
It's great.
yeah, libraries are amazing and totally underutilized, except
And,
by
like-
Leah.
like,
Yeah, she's
like what
abuses
is an
them.
equivalent of a library? Like what other utility
Institution is
almost
like
functions
that?
like
Yeah.
that? Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's nothing.
Right. I always chuckle when someone was like, if we tried to invent libraries today, people would call it socialist and it would never pass, right? And it's like, well, yeah, I mean, it's just sharing.
I remember
things.
doing a podcast a couple years ago on like the gig economy and Uber and stuff, and hearing a lot about like why wouldn't you have a Home Depot that is like a library, right? Where you go
They do.
just check out a tool, or like for your at the neighborhood level. Like it seems like it would make sense, but there's just no.
They do have those. They're called tool libraries.
No way, really?
Yes.
Oh,
They also
And they're
have,
usually like community education supported. Like, isn't
there
that
are
how they
also
set up?
those too, where like you can go in and
Yeah.
some old codger will show you how to use a laser cutter.
There
right.
you
But
go,
is,
Mitch.
But
but,
those
but
you
can
usually
you?
have to pay a membership fee and stuff for.
Right. Right.
But there
You
are
can't
tool
go- yeah,
libraries. Or even just go to Home Depot and you can, like Gio, you rented like a
Tons of
Well, there's
stuff.
rental. There's a million places you can rent tools, yes, but a library is free. That's like its whole shtick. Like you would show up to Home Depot, take a hammer, and then bring it back 3 weeks later after you've
It's
hung your
for-
one picture.
The public good and paid
Right.
for by your taxes.
Right.
Now Mitch is gonna just the next logical step here is to be like everything at Home Depot should just be free. Like you should just be able to walk in and take it home and use it and maybe never return it. Like maybe these nails are never coming back.
Right.
And
Well,
I'm in.
yeah.
Wow.
Das Laughter. You guys clearly aren't watching the chat.
No.
I'm in chat, but I haven't seen it. What the hell?
I don't do that.
Okay, so that was a little library challenge. Then we had
Homie don't
foligraphy.
play.
Foligraphy. Halloween. What, we wore a costume on stream? Is that what we did?
Yes.
Oh, yep.
Yes.
Some of us
Yes.
did, yep.
Replay, revisit an old challenge. I forget what
That's a good idea.
we did there. Listen to Christmas music early. That was a good challenge.
Oh,
Are you guys listening to Christmas music late?
no.
No.
No,
I
I'm watching a lot of the
definitely am.
Grinch late. Watched the Grinch yesterday during
The new
my
Grinch?
kids' yeah, the
New
new
one
Grinch.
is good.
Yep, new one is good. Good music.
Oh, really good music. There's a light show down south of where we live. Like it's like a drive-through. It's like usually an apple orchard type place, but they have like this unbelievable light show. Takes you like 10 or 15 minutes to like drive through all these attractions, and they have music like broadcasting to a specific radio station when you're down there, and there was just tons of music from the Grinch. It was
Which
very,
Grinch are
very,
you guys
very
saying
good.
has good music?
The one that's like Tyler the Creator.
Yeah, the new
not
one, the
Jim
one that's
Carrey.
like Pixar animated.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
It's good.
We just watched the Jim Carrey one.
Oh, that one's
Ugh.
terrible.
That can't be true.
That it's terrible, or that it's the only one we watch?
That's the only one you watch.
Yeah, that's the only one we watch. We haven't seen the
No.
cartoon one. Is it the cartoon one that you're talking
No,
about?
You've never
No,
seen
Not
it's
the
the
old one. There's like a new one.
Hmm.
What are you messing with us, Peric? This is very
No.
weird. I'm very lost.
I wouldn't mess with you with a 39.5-foot pole. All right.
oh,
You have seen the original though, right?
clearly,
I
he just
don't know.
made a 39.5-foot pole reference.
That's the James Earl Jones on the radio Christmas music that we hear.
But
That comes from a movie.
the original
I know,
cartoon Grinch.
but you used the fact that I used a 39.5-foot pole reference to try and prove the fact that I've seen the old movie, which
I don't think
You
that's
could've just
too
heard the-
crazy
could've
of
just
an
heard the song.
assumption.
I
Could have just heard the song,
on
I
radio,
guess.
which is what I just said.
So the only Grinch movie you've seen,
So
It's Jim
quid pro
Carrey.
quo.
Ipso facto.
Yeah, I know. It's a-
Oh
that's-
boy,
it's
Peric is on
joke.
another
Yet
level right
another
now.
joke I
Another
was trying to tell
level.
people. Jeez.
He is dancing across the top of this podcast.
well, anyways,
And then
Tyler
we
the
had
Creator's Grinch or whoever it was, it's quite good.
So good.
then we had a putting challenge.
Some of us did.
Check.
I got one of those putt out things that I showed on the other stream. I got one of those for Christmas, and I've got my own set up in my office here. I have been hitting quite a few putts.
Sick.
How
Did you
many
get a
of you-
ladder?
What?
Did you get a ladder from your parents for Christmas?
I did not.
I got a ladder from your parents for
heard you got a
Christmas.
little
I didn't know if
giant
it was like
ladder.
I didn't know if it was like a buy one get one, everybody gets one type of deal.
Nope.
A
Very
ladder.
nice ladder. Yeah, like a little giant ladder.
Those are nice.
I know.
I have one of those. It's great.
Totally unexpected, but great gift.
How the fuck
So-
Was it
so-
wrapped?
that thing?
It was wrapped. It was
Cool.
wrapped. It was wrapped in like multiple garbage bags.
The garbage
which is
bag
a
wrap.
classic Lundquist Christmas
Garbage bag?
morning. We get through all the presents, and then at the end,
Yeah.
Something comes
what's
out of the
this?
garage and
comes out with a
Someone's got the
dolly
big
with
one.
something covered in garbage bags. It's like, yeah, for sure. It's like a ladder or like a gun safe or something.
Right.
Like, so, a lot of funny gifts.
Goodness.
Those are the only ones list. Oh, did I not cut back to the web? Sorry, everybody. Truth be told, I need a third monitor
Whoa.
because I can't.
I mean, they make those.
I know. The last podcast on Google Podcasts is 12:18. RIP the podcast.
Crazy.
I'm just catching up on the beginning of chat from Brandon. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, those are all the challenges. Gio has declared a 3-way tie. When you were talking, I was literally going to say I volunteer to be not second to last because I certainly skipped a ton of challenges.
How about you, Mitch? What do you volunteer for?
I think I honestly think I probably won.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it was totaled up, I think I probably would have won.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Good.
I'll take second.
See, this is
feels
easy.
like-
This is easy. We figured it out. We didn't even have to keep track.
We get
just
along so
figured it
well.
out.
We don't even
It feels about right. It feels about
God, we
right.
should have done this for 10 years. It would take me a whole day of work to listen through old podcasts and like skip and then skip too far ahead and then skip back and back and back and back and back until I finally got the answer. Oh man, that was brutal. 24 podcasts.
Right, because sometimes we talk about it, for 20 minutes. Sometimes 5 minutes. That's bad.
It was not my favorite part of doing this podcast. I don't know what my favorite part is. But
Now, we can't really declare a winner yet because we haven't reviewed our year-long challenges, and those play an outsized role in the overall score, right?
yeah. True. Does anybody want to talk about
I think
that?
our person in last place should start.
I think my year-long challenge.
Oh boy,
it's hard.
that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign.
I think it was. I don't even remember if it was two-pronged or not. But one piece of it was to introduce golf to grow the game.
Yep,
So to play golf with two people who'd never played golf before.
Yep.
Oh, I don't remember that at all.
I vaguely remember it. I think I said you couldn't use like your own kids. I think I said it sounds like something I would say, but
that does sound like something you would say. But I definitely didn't. The only people I introduced the game to were my kids. But
that's what I was thinking too, Minnick. He says it was to track the fucking challenges, but I think that was just a side bonus. I don't think that was his official.
I think you're absolutely
or is that the
right.
second prong?
I was thinking. I don't remember. It's
I think
really
he
hard to
had
say
two
what
challenges.
All these prongs were.
Yeah, I think it was the golf
I
thing,
wasn't
and
sure
I
if
think
it
he
was
did
official.
promise.
Minnick is such an unreliable source at this point that there's just no
Are
way
you kidding
I can
me?
trust
He
it.
just said I should have won. He just agreed that I won. He's like the most reliable source, way better than us.
yeah.
I think the one thing we can agree on is Gio remains in last place.
Yeah,
Correct.
For
With
sure.
his standing as a result of his year-long.
Did we do like a prediction about the year? Or was that 2 years ago?
Oh, bold predictions.
That was
Bold
last year.
predictions.
Yeah, bold predictions because I predicted that somebody was gonna that Tom Brady wasn't gonna play for the Patriots anymore, and then you guys gave me shit for that because it was easy or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was last year.
That was
Yeah,
last
I
year, the
think
year
that was-
before.
And
I think it would have been like
Gio's was
mine was
like
medical
all four
marijuana
main
and all.
leagues.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't
Just
remember
not-
what mine was.
I think mine was like there was going to be a global pandemic or something.
Last year, that wouldn't have been a great prediction.
Yeah,
for
that
you.
would not have been
Stick with
bold
it.
enough. We would not have allowed that to.
I think if you would have said
Mitch's
that, I
was
would have.
Mitch's was
that would've been the
automatic
best.
driving cars having a serious accident that made everybody question
Oh,
the technology.
yep. I don't think we did have that.
No,
So we're over.
no, I
All
got
right.
mine.
We didn't let you have yours. We thought it was not bold enough.
Yeah.
Well,
Not even close.
I
All
set
right.
a smart goal. You guys shot for the moon like idiots.
So then let's
Bold
go to
prediction,
third
not
place
Smart goal.
and let's talk to Perrick. Perrick, do you remember what your challenge was? Chinese robot?
My challenge was to
The
to
record,
learn and
produce a
record my
song.
own
Oh,
song production.
yes.
Not just record, but produce a song.
Yeah. Sort of like
And
so I set my initial goal was to like there were facets to this. Basically to like find a song that I like and try and cover it basically. But do it without like buying the sheet music or whatever, and just like try and pick the song apart using my ears, because I had been buying those ear training courses and things for music theory. So that was part of it, just to kind of explore that part of music, and then to record the cover of the song and like try and make it sound good, actually like try and balance the tracks and multi-track record everything, and then try and play all of the instruments for it all, like live
Sufjan
recording.
Stevens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like Prince. I don't know if you guys have heard of Prince, but it's a lot like Prince.
Another Minnesota buddy.
Just a local.
Wasn't he like
artist.
some addict or something? What?
Yeah,
Chad,
he's addicted to funk.
And?
Chad.
don't besmirch.
So yeah, I mean, I think I succeeded at this. I didn't spend as much time as I thought I would have liked to, like directly connected with this. I spent a ton of time listening to music and analyzing like types of music I think I could cover, and trying to find genres of music that contained like the subsets of instruments that I felt like I could play. Because the whole thing was, you know, at my disposal here, I have drums, I have guitar, I have bass, I have trumpet, I have vocals, I have keyboard, I have electric guitar. And I thought, you know, I could probably play all of those well enough to do a crappy cover of something. And so that was the goal. And yeah, I for sure did it. So
Are we going to
and
listen
I-
to it?
We have to.
yeah, I think
You have
so.
to play it.
I'm
Yeah,
really
you
Come
have
here.
to.
I mean,
Yeah,
I've never
really,
heard it.
I can tell in your voice that you're like a little bit nervous
Yeah.
about it, but we got it. You have to. You absolutely have to. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Press play and
Like,
go
you
walk
sent
into
it-
another room or something.
Wait.
I mean,
I want to emphasize this. You did everything. Everything we're about to hear was performed by your God-given
and
things.
truth be told,
No,
when it-
his well-earned things.
Yeah.
He wasn't born with these skills.
truth be told, it
Thanks.
was probably, and this is why I say I didn't spend as much time. It was really 2 full days. Like I took 2 days off of work, one in like, you know, October to actually start laying down the tracks, and then I had another day off where I, you know,
Produced
my
it.
family was gone, and I did the multi-tracks and tried balancing and doing all that stuff. So it's really 2 full days of work, which doesn't sound like a lot, but basically the main thing I learned from this is I don't have enough time to do this as a real
Well,
hobby.
you don't have enough alone time. Like that's a feat in and of itself. Like
Yeah.
it's a feat to learn that stuff, but as a person whose family is home all the time, like not only during pandemic, but it's not like your
Right.
wife and kids leave. Like
Right.
they're always there. So there's no uninterrupted time that you have ever.
For sure.
So
But I'm
Which makes
definitely
it
proud.
more
I'm
impressive.
definitely very nervous. I don't do this for other people. Like I don't make. I didn't want to make this so other people like listening to it. So there are things I just absolutely hate, and all that. All those caveats go with this. If you've ever played a song for somebody, you probably know what I'm talking about. So
thank goodness Chad's aforementioned listener drop off happened in 2021 because you're not like
yeah. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do.
how are you gonna play it? How are you gonna play the sound effects? But that's not necessarily an easy thing to do either.
Well, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to.
Keyboard with the left hand.
Live.
Freebird.
I'm gonna stream my software to you guys. You can see that messes up my whole stream layout, though, right? So I'm just gonna
Okay.
go. I'm gonna go over to this monitor now. Now, can you guys still see my DAW, my digital audio workstation?
The
All we
stream
see
has
is
it. Yes.
Watch stream. Do I have to
No,
click
no,
on that?
no, no.
Yeah, yes,
The
yeah, you see
stream,
that?
the Twitch stream has your
But you guys can
Oh,
also
yeah.
see it and hear it
Tracks.
live in Discord right now if you'd like.
ah.
So I'm just
Do I
gonna
have to click watch it?
yeah,
Yep.
you should click watch it, and you should see my multi-track session. Can you guys
10
see
tracks, 10, 11
Yep.
tracks.
that? You can see it in Discord.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and so you'll be able to hear it too, and I think on stream you'll be able to hear it. I think this is the best setup I could come up with. So, yeah. So how many tracks do I have? I had to like upgrade my application area to buy the real version for like $100 so that I could get more than 6 tracks. So that was part of it too, just like learning what software I like, and I could do this in free software, but this one was nicer. It had better stuff and whatever. But so I've got a track. I don't know if this is boring to go through. It's not boring for me, but one of the main things I learned laying down some of the tracks was like how to record music and how it made sense for me. So I can kind of play drums, but like to try and record a cover and try and record a 2.5-minute song on drums without making a mistake was difficult for me because I'm not really a drummer. And I didn't want to use computerized or like quantized drums or anything. I wanted it to be live. So what I ended up doing after half a day of experimenting was I separated my kick drum from my hands. And so I have a kick drum track and I have a hands track for drums. So like I can solo out this kick drum, and it's literally just a. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, whoops. I'll preview there. So that's just all kick drum. This hands track is just
Clapping.
it's just my lame snare.
Oh yeah.
And switching. I got a couple different.
So when you laid that down, that's all you're doing. You're just sitting there.
I was just sitting there recording that. Yeah.
Are you listening to a metronome or
the song?
or the song
I
or like
listened to the song,
like,
but
like what did you start with? Did you are we looking at this in chronological order? Like did you do the kick drum?
yeah. Pretty close. Like kick drum
Okay.
drums were first, so kick drum and hands. I tried to do them together for a long time, and it just like I kept screwing up, and it didn't sound right when I tried to play guitar with it. It wasn't like tight.
Minnick says no audio on stream. Minnick says no audio on stream, which is probably important for this one.
Oh shit. Okay. Give me a second.
I can hear Peric talking, but yeah,
Right.
obviously. It's
On
not
the stream itself.
Yeah. So this stream is not being shared on the stream. That makes
No.
sense.
Wait, what?
I just turned on the stream and I could hear you talking on
Yeah.
Twitch.
Yeah. I don't think he can hear my recorded audio on stream.
Right.
I think is what they can't hear.
Voice of present music wasn't. Got it.
So I got to figure out how to do that here real quick.
Won't be in your audio program, will it?
Yeah, it is.
I think that feels more like a Discord thing to me.
No. It's not a Discord thing. I need to be routing. Sorry, this is really boring, but
I need some popcorn is what I need. That sounds good right now.
Let me go to my app volume, and I go to my.
This is while you're figuring this out, Peric. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, why don't you take it, Gio?
Mine is non sequitur 100%.
Your challenge, Chad, while Peric's figuring this out.
That's what I was going to suggest. So,
yeah.
Peric just cut me off whenever. But so my challenge was 2-part. The first was to get a hold of my email. So I have Outlook email through work and Gmail for everything else, and was to organize that stuff. It's definitely not organized now. And I didn't do it. I should have. But honestly, every time I came down to like, okay, I got to sit down and use the tools available to me with Outlook. I'm certainly not the first person, even, today, this hour, to set out to organize my Outlook. There are, guides upon guides for doing this. Every time I sat down to do that, I thought, like, I just want to be done working for the day. Like I don't want to have to interact more with work. I want to go do other things because I'm done with my work, which would have been the time I could have allotted to that. So
Right.
that was a weird barrier that I didn't expect to have. And Gmail just makes it too easy to just not ever care about deleting or sorting anything. You could search the whole thing super easy, unlimited space or basically unlimited. And so it just didn't happen. It's still on my list of things to do someday. But I don't know how I'm going to get over that hurdle, to be honest with you. Like, it's just not high enough on my priority list to take precedent over other things I could be doing with my time.
Did I ever? That brings another tangent up for me. But did I ever tell you guys about the article I read about younger generations, like younger than us, not knowing how to use filing systems like file folders and stuff on their computer because search has gotten so good that if you can just type in some sort of search term for whatever you're looking for, it will find it in your windows. You don't need to create a whole set of folders. It's kind of tantamount to the email thing, right? Where it's like, if I just remember who sent it to me or something, I'll type that in, look in the first 10 things. I know about when I got, Geo sent me this last summer. I'm hearing music now. Do we hear music on the stream? Do we hear some drums? Oh yeah.
All right.
Let's
So
go.
kick it back.
Jeez, that was tricky. Sorry. You want me to jump back, or you guys want to keep going?
Yeah.
I wasn't even listening to what you were saying, so I don't know what you were doing. Okay, so anyway, here are my drums. Hopefully you can hear that. I can already hear there's some artifacts in here. So it's crazy. I'll put the real file in the Discord if people want to hear it pure. But anyway, so yeah, drums I recorded separate, and then we've got a bass. Bass I'm pretty proud of. Bass I did basically one take. Let me yeah, it sounds bad, but anyway, bass was good. I've got acoustic guitar, which is pretty straightforward, just kind of vamping. Keyboards, I didn't do anything fancy with keyboards, just basically sustained some background stuff like that. Just like there's nothing going on there. Vocals, I hate the vocals. It was a hard song to sing. But then I have a trumpet part. I have a trumpet track, which the real song. So spoiler alert: the song I covered was called "Things Ain't What They Was Before" by the very popular and everybody knows this band, Mingo Fish Trap.
I was like, I spent so much time this year thinking about what you were going to cover, and when that came out, I was like, what the hell happened? Like, where did this come from?
Yeah, it was basically, like I said, I just listened to so much Spotify stuff and playlists and created radio based on songs that were close, and to try and find stuff I'd never heard. Trying to find music you've never heard before that you like is tricky for me. But anyway, so I just tried to copy their horn parts from the real song. Oh, see, this sounds so bad, you guys.
Does sound a little.
It's all
tinny.
scratchy, right? I gotta just keep. Let me. So you can't hear this, right?
No.
Well, you've only got the trumpet.
You guys
I can
hear
hear
the
trumpet.
Yeah, but the stream can't hear the trumpet, I don't think.
Yeah,
Trumpet.
Yeah, trumpet didn't happen on stream.
Trumpet didn't happen on stream. Let me try this one. No. Dang it. I'm so mad that I didn't test this beforehand, but all right, we'll go back to what I had before. Let me try one other thing. Voice meter.
Mitch, while Peric's figuring this out,
Yep.
do you still have do you still have 2 of my golf clubs?
Yes. Two wedges.
Little scratchy, Peric.
Little scratchy, right?
Yeah. So for Christmas, I got a golf club stamping set.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
So I can like custom.
Like I
Yeah.
could put Mitchie on my new wedges or something.
Exactly.
Cool.
Jeffrey,
But I need a
is
couple
this
more
like-
wedges to run some more tests on.
All right.
could we conceivably like send you our clubs and for a small fee request something go on there? Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I mean whatever you want. I've already had a couple golf league guys who are getting their wedges to be sent over, but I've covered all of the real estate on the wedges that I have for practicing, and so I need more wedges. Need more wedges that I can because it's both like spacing between stamps and alignment and being on top of it goes on like a steel brick basically, so that it doesn't like change anything about the wedge. There's like quite a bit that goes into it actually. Still scratchy.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. I think I can play it non-scratchy if I just play the version out in a different program. So I'll play the whole song there, but this is still a good enough breakdown, I guess, of all the parts and stuff. So I had electric guitar, just vamping again. If I solo that, it's just like a...
The pain in that refrain took off.
Keep doing that. But there's a little electric guitar. I did a trumpet solo. Just full disclosure on that trumpet solo. It was basically the first one I tried because I can't play trumpet for very long anymore, so I had to take what I had.
There's a muscular,
And I only had-
embouchure.
it's similar to our Christmas
limitation.
album. It's like, yeah, you get what you get.
Right.
But so I had a trumpet part in a trumpet solo. The saxophone, I that was really fun. I borrowed a saxophone from the high school, and learned saxophone the morning that I did my
So sick.
where I put all the tracks together. So it doesn't sound great, but it sounds pretty good for 45 minutes of
Learning that
saxophone.
morning.
Like, so it's
Sounds like a
sounds like a-
saxophone to me.
Hell yeah.
maybe this is another part here.
I just remember
Yeah.
kids in like high school varsity band that have been playing saxophone for 6 years and were still squeaking.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of squeaking. I mean, I had so much benefit of having like the ability to delete. And in fact, what I ended up doing was I would have everything playing, and you can in this program you can set this little area here. I don't know if you can see it that well, but you can set a loop, like a loop area, and you can record a track in a looped format. So basically, what I would do is I'd play 8 bars of stuff that I knew I needed to play saxophone with, and I'd try for 8 bars to play it. And if it went well,
Cool.
it just kept it. And if it didn't go well, I just tried again immediately. I didn't have to hit stop, start, or anything. So it was,
Cool.
I learned a ton of efficiencies on how to lay stuff down. So, okay, so now I'm gonna just play the song in Windows Music or whatever, and hopefully it works. Let me know on stream if you can hear well enough. I really don't want to do this, but
What's the name of this song, by the way? You said it's some crazy
Things
Something.
ain't what they used
Things
to be.
ain't what they was before.
What they was before.
It's like some blues song, you know, blues is easy
Yeah.
type thing, and it sounded good. But all
By
right,
the
here we go.
Wallaby Smitheroos. By the
Mingo Fish Trap.
Wrench.
Mingo
something-
Fish Trap.
Mingo
right.
Fish Trap.
Here we go, boys.
Came on so fast.
Oh, let's start over.
Said the wind came on so fast and strong. We did not have the time to find a shade.
Sounds good on stream.
Oh, and down below the ground we sat and watched that Virgin Mary candle burn. When 1,000 marching bands had all moved on, we opened up the door. We said now everything we'd ever known was gone. Things ain't what they was before. She met him on a Friday night. By Sunday afternoon, they'd run away. Well, I pieced it all together Wednesday evening with a postcard from LA. Thursday morning came and found me on the ground behind old Lucky's bar. Said the only love I'd ever known was gone. Things ain't what they was before. Oh Lord, I don't mind changing time. It settles up the score. Oh, when that new moon shines on you, things ain't what they was before. With whiskey on my breath, I sang a song about a love that I once knew. And the pain in that refrain took on new meaning when she walked into the room. Well, she told me she was sorry, she could not live without me anymore. Whoa. Said the only love she'd ever known was gone. Things ain't what they was before. Oh, I don't mind the change in time. It settles up the score. Whoa. When that new moon shines on you, things ain't what they was before. Now eternity had passed without a word. She gently took my hand. She said, this ain't no rebound love affair, and I don't want no one night stand. I pushed back from the bar, grabbed my guitar now, and headed for the door. Oh, I ain't nobody's stepping stone no more. Things ain't what they was before. Nah, nah, nah. Oh, I don't mind a change in time. It settles up the score. Oh, when that new moon shines on you.
There it is. That's the ending.
Awesome. That's so fucking cool, man.
Unbelievable.
So cool.
Hey. Yeah.
So do you,
It just gives me flashbacks to when we made the Christmas album and like how hard it was to make a totally shitty Christmas album. And like, that is like a legitimate song. Like,
yeah.
really, really impressive, man.
it it was very fun to do. I learned a ton of stuff, which was my goal. Like, if I pulled back what I actually did to make it sound good, I did like almost nothing. Like adding a compressor to a track, and then like all these digital stations. Now you can like literally, I was dragging dots around, and it was real time changing all the parameters of these fancy compressors. And like I was just like listening, and like, oh, that sounds better. That sounds worse. And it's, I mean, again, it's like it's probably about as the same quality as our Christmas album is very good. I listened to it. It's very good. Some of the brass that we played on that was really good. And if you also take into consideration, back then we were on my old MacBook with the microphone that Gio's recording with right now. That's all we had. I had way more stuff at my disposal now. I've got, direct line in for my guitars, and all this stuff sounds so much better.
So what's next? I think I have an idea. What?
We also drank all day when we made
Also
the Christmas
true.
album.
Yeah.
There were a lot of confounding
I laid
factors.
the initial recordings down over at Bobby's house. I had him help me.
Okay.
And we weren't
Weren't totally lucid.
yeah. It was a good day.
Discernibly turgid.
So what are you going to use this for? Are you going to do this again? Or are you going to just do this as an activity with your kids and
I'm
like have
really
them
excited.
like build a song?
Yeah, I'm really excited to
Yeah.
be able to do this with the kids. Like actually one of the drum beats on there was Joram. It was my son. I had
So you didn't do everything yourself.
So actually if you
failed.
if you listen to the Mingo Fish Trap, there's the first, like coming into the first chorus or whatever, there isn't a snare drum hit. And so I added a snare drum hit, and I was just showing, like, that's what I was doing. I was in here, I was showing him what I was doing, how I could record one thing at a time, blah, blah, blah. So that's what's next, really. It's just, this is good to have around. Like, our theme for Christmas this year was just musical instruments. So we bought, all kinds of weird stuff. They really like Walk Off the Earth, those guys.
Those guys are so cool.
And so, like,
the guys who know them.
They all 6 people playing the same guitar for somebody that I used to know or whatever.
Mm-hmm. You've seen
like,
it, Mitch.
they do a lot of gimmicky
Mitch hasn't
music
seen this.
covers.
Never seen it.
What?
Walk Off the Earth.
Never seen it.
Okay.
I
Walk
wish
Off
I
the
could
Earth.
see
All right,
it for the
I'll check
first
it out.
time again. Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like we
stuff.
should watch it on the stream. Like, it's that impressive. Mitch.
I'm gonna have to go back and check it out. Peric, man, I'm so impressed. I just
It's
feel
really
like
good.
I can't believe I get to hang out with you. You're so talented. It's like so cool, man.
It was very
good for
fun.
you.
It was very fun.
Yeah,
I don't
really-
I don't think I need to make it any better. I don't have any desire to do another one. Like complete. Like, I'm not a completionist in that way. Like, I don't want to make an album or whatever. But it did.
No, you're not you're a learner. You're not a completionist. You're like a Renaissance learner type. Like,
which is
suck
perfect
up
for
knowledge and know how to do stuff. Very
Yeah.
cool.
So I'm happy. I'm happy.
Pure completion, pure win. That's awesome. Very cool.
Cool.
I just feel like you missed an opportunity when you were like in high school and the number one trumpet chair. You should have just like moved over a seat, grabbed the saxophone, and just like ripped.
Sax sounded good.
I was always jealous of saxophones because they can play so fast and it seemed so effortless.
Right.
Like, it was just like moving your fingers. Like, that's easy.
Right.
But as it turns out, as I was learning saxophone that morning, like, it's just as
More than
tiring.
that.
Like, just as tiring on your embouchure, like on your cheek muscles or whatever. I was getting exhausted playing that saxophone, trying to learn it. But truthfully, I learned a D scale on one YouTube video. And that's all. That's the only thing I watched. I could play one octave of a D scale, and then I just backed it in.
That's all I need. That's cool.
That's it. Yeah.
Super cool.
That
Very,
was
very
one more thing. That's a specific one. But did you have to, like, for the saxophone? Did you have to modulate the pitch at all? Like, was it you just
I didn't
did
do
one
any-
take?
I didn't do any post, so I thought about that a little bit because some of the things you can do in this, like, I'm using Ableton Live, which is the digital audio workstation. It's extremely powerful, like extremely powerful. I didn't do any of the good stuff. Like you can, so a lot of
'Cause that's what you always think. Like you didn't hit that note right, but it sounded cool, so let's just raise the pitch on it a little, like
Right.
that kind of stuff.
yeah, you can do that.
You
Like
didn't
auto tune.
auto-tune?
I didn't know, but it's very easy to do. Like you just download a plugin and you can do it, and it's easy. The other thing, maybe I did do a little bit of like, if I had 4 bars of the kick drum that I didn't like, I would delete it and replace it with the 4 bars that I had just done before. So it was all live. It was all live recorded stuff. I didn't.
Right.
None of it was software instrument, I guess. But
Right.
that's the next level for sure. And even like Ableton, you can take a song, and if you have the Ableton full subscription, you can import it in there, and it'll convert it into MIDI for you, which is like MIDI is basically like, it's magic to me. But you know, it's all those parts would have little like almost a Guitar Hero. Like like for the duration of how long it is, and it would be in a different spot no matter for what the pitch was. And so if your pitch is off, you just like drag the bar and it changes. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. So I might get into that eventually, just to have fun. But it's a really good hobby, I feel like.
Very cool. Chad, you were gonna finish your end of your email challenge. Awesome job, Peric. That's really cool. Like
Yeah, so
inspiring.
Thank you.
I didn't do the emails. The second part of my challenge was to go deer hunting again because I wanted to, I'd come off a successful hunt the year prior, and I wanted to make sure it was something that stuck. And I hunted 10 to 15 times this year and have nothing to show for it.
Oh
Crazy.
man.
It was, definitely 2 different experiences, right? From shooting a deer in the first hour of opening day, there were a couple, maybe only 2 or 3 sits where I didn't see a deer. So I saw a lot of deer, but I told the story on here previously about the one that I missed, the one that got away. But a lot of them were out of range, does that I wasn't going to try to shoot. And so I'm going to keep doing this. I had a lot of fun. There were a couple moments in the woods that were just like, to be in my memory banks forever. Like there was this, God, it was so cool. So it was like at the end of October, early November, we hadn't had any snow yet. But all the leaves or most of the leaves were down, and the forest floor is just covered with leaves, right? And the snow starts, but it's this like really crystal, kind of hard driving snow. So it's just this sound of all of those like hitting the crackling leaves of just. It was crazy. It went from completely silent to this weird white noise. And it's just something I won't forget. So I love being out there, kind of the challenge, and I'm sure I'll keep doing it. So
I was going to say,
completion.
it seems like it almost makes you more of a real hunter to have a year where you don't get a deer.
Yeah,
right?
do you feel like you have?
I
Yeah,
think
that.
so. Yeah, and I hunted everything from, like I was out there all day sweating, like mosquitoes buzzing around, to my last hunt was the literal last evening of the season, which is New Year's Eve, and it was very cold, but it's so like I got all those experiences, different clothing required, different cover in the trees and all that stuff. So I learned a lot by taking a deer. So we'll see.
How are you guys going to get through the rest of the winter without food though?
Yeah.
What's funny is right after the season, I was making a joke about like, oh, we're gonna starve, and Angie was like, well, actually, the meat prices have gone way up this year. I've noticed it. And I was like, I probably should have taken a couple of those, and ground them up, But so for next year, I'll probably buy a ground blind, which would be a little bit different than sitting up in a tree. In part because it conceals your movement, and then also it's not as dangerous climbing in and out of a tree all the time, and it's easier to do silently. So that'll be a change I make.
One on the ground conceals your movement better? Like
yeah,
you close the window and walk around and...
The
That type of stuff?
technology is kind of crazy. I mean, it's basically a pop-up blind, which is like maybe 6 feet tall and maybe like 8 by 8, one of the larger ones. And you just pop it up, set it down. They typically have like some elastic going around. You could put branches and leaves in there to kind of hide it. They're all camouflaged. And the newer ones have some special kind of mesh where you absolutely cannot see in, but you can very effectively see outside of it. So you can sit there on a chair just watching. And then a lot of them, and I don't know if I'll try this because I don't trust it, but a lot of them have shoot through mesh. So it's whatever the material is, like with a gun, no problem. With an arrow, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how it's advertised, is you literally just shoot an arrow right through the mesh. You don't have an open window or anything. And it doesn't send the arrow off course or anything. So, I mean, it's almost like cheating, but it's a different style of hunting. The trick with the ground blinds is you have to deal with scent a little bit more.
Right.
Up in the tree, a lot of your scent will kind of stay above.
Oh, Febreze will be fine.
Febreze, exactly. And then the other thing about being on the ground is anything on the ground is where deer's natural predators are. Mm-hmm. So they're very much more aware of any noise, any or anything. So there's tricks to setting them up in advance. And I was even reading the other day that, like, if you set up a blind, you want it to be incredibly concealed so that they almost never see it, or wide out in the open. Because if they don't see it, well, then you're good, obviously. If it's wide out in the open, they'll check it out and spend hours checking it out, and then eventually worried about because it's changed, and then come in and it's not a big deal. Versus if it's like kind of hidden, but then they suddenly spot it at like 30 yards, they're out of there. So it's just all these kind of weird different strategies thought of, and I'll keep it interesting. But yeah, no, I'll definitely do it. I'd love to have you guys join me sometime. That's the other thing with a ground. Sit 2 guys in there very easily.
2 guys, 1 blind.
Experience.
2 guys, 1 blind. Yeah, baby.
There you go. So there's always next year. We'll see if I can get another one of those over here.
But we've got to take classes, right? We got to take hunter safety.
No,
if you're gonna shoot, we can just go sit there though.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
With a bow, you don't need. With a bow, you don't need 100. No, that's for firearms safety.
Huh. Oh yeah, because bows couldn't ever kill somebody.
Right. They're just sticks. Sticks with like slightly pointy sticks.
It is kind of crazy. When I was first into this, because like I've hunted pheasants before, and I know like all the stringent
peasants
about guns. Peasants, yes. You know, okay, I'm gonna stop with that line of questioning.
Please.
But you know, guns. There are a lot of very strict, very important rules about how to transport a gun and all these things. There are no rules with a bow. Like you could shoot it however close you want to a house. It doesn't have to be in a case of any kind in your car. You'll probably be driving down the road with it in hand. And not a problem. So it's much different, but there's a lot to learn, even if you're just sitting there. If you're actually hunting, you owe it to the animals you're hunting to be good at what you're doing, right? So like the big bad thing is to not be prepared and then wound something that suffer forever. No, nobody wants that. So that's the trick. With a gun, it's easier to kill an animal quickly, and you can do it as a beginner, but you got to take all those. So
I know what you mean, Minnick. I know what you mean.
What do you say?
There are no rules with a now.
There are no rules with a now. That's right. Well, I can go. I can go fast on mine because I took up a lot of I took a lot of stream time this year with my challenge, right? So mine was the backgammon challenge. I was gonna get really good at backgammon, good enough to beat Geo, who's been playing his whole life. I picked it up a couple years ago. We found out in it kind of started off where we were just trying to get hours on Twitch to like get to some affiliate status. So like, what can we do? I was like, let's just play backgammon, right? Gio and I all of us kind of like backgammon, right? So let's just play a little. That was kind of the starting point of it. And so I like bought, and the cool thing about backgammon, I guess you can't go listen to the original one, but like there's definitely luck involved, but there's a whole lot of skill, and there's a right move to make in every situation, and it's measurable. Like you can measure like who made the better moves for the dice rolls that they got, like who made the most out of their dice rolls. And so I set.
Does that get measured real time? Like
it can, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, it can. And so I set up a little tournament that, was not only did you have to win, but you had to outplay the other person, right? So there's this, at the end of the site that we used at the end of the game or end of the match, they say you were a 5.3 and you were a 12.2. So the 5.3 had a lower error rate or a higher player rating. I don't even remember what exactly it is now, but there was a quantifiable, you played better. Even though you lost, you played better. So I created like a series of 4 matches for us to do. 2 points each. So the first person to 5 won, and Gio got me, right. The first match he won both points. Second match he won the outplay match, and I got lucky and beat him in the game itself. And then the third match he won both, and the third match was actually very, very close from a error rate perspective, and Gio got very lucky in that game as well. So a couple different things fall my way, and it wasn't 5-1, it was 3-3 in that third matchup. So I think I got better. I didn't get quite as good as I wanted to. We also, in one of those first streams, ran into M. Messick on the chat, who is like
unbelievable.
Quite a wild coincidence.
Yeah.
He not only does he live in Minnesota, but he's like big time into the whole backgammon community nationally and even internationally. So he provided coaching, guidance. He would do on Discord, if you remember the Discord, he would do a blow by blow of every match we had until I forgot to load the file on the very last one. And we would go through, and I sat at work several mornings just going back and forth with him, talking about each move, why to do this, why not to do that, like the philosophy of backgammon. It was very, very fun. And really appreciate M. Messick's like participation and guidance and help there. He also early on gave me a couple books to try out. I read Opening Concepts by a famous backgammon player. I really liked actually Messick's recommendation there, because he was like, hey, every single game you're going to have an opening game. So if you're going to try to get the most bang for your buck this year, like don't make mistakes in the very early game. So that's the one I studied probably the most. And then I had ending game concepts and I think philosophically I got better, but clearly it was definitely not enough to beat Gio, because he got me 5-1. We didn't even have to go to the fourth match. So congrats.
There's no question that you got to the next of countless plateaus, though, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
right.
It's really about volume. You can't beat 15 years of play. You can't simulate that in a year.
Right.
You just can't. But the rest of them, like, I don't know, from what I heard, just like, not that I know what I'm talking about, but from what I heard, like some of the questions you were asking yourself in your head while you were playing were definitely a next level type questions. It wasn't like, you weren't like trying to move pieces where you weren't allowed to move them, or anything. Like you're not a beginner.
right. Not beginner, and not even.
Should I be aggressive? Like what's my goal at this portion of the game? Am I trying to run? Am I trying to be aggressive? Should I double hit? All that stuff. You were asking yourself those things. I don't know what else you could have done to improve yourself faster. It's not something you can improve at quickly.
Right. I was going to try and look up. I was going to try to look up stats and stuff about, like, because I have a program that measures me as well, and that I would play a lot just during the day at work, have 10 minutes, go play a match against the computer and see. And I think I got, quantifiably better as well. So
I wondered, Gio, do you think, you played as a kid, but I think you really started playing another round when you were an adult, right? Do you think you would have or did you play more as a kid? Maybe I'm wrong. Did you play more
I
as a
played
kid?
a ton as a kid, and I played tons in college. Actually, like our buddy Dave and I would play hours on end.
Like, do you
But
think you
then
would have learned faster with stats, or do you really think it's just
Or
hours on
I
checkers?
I think I was good at backgammon in college, and then after college, I started like reading books and like understanding why moves were better, and that like I think I had played so much before that that all of those little rules just like clicked right away. And so
'Cause you
like
had a
I would just like
foundation.
read through, yeah, I would read through these books and it'd be like, this is how the board is set up. This is the roll. What do you do? And I'd be like, oh, it's this one because of this reasoning behind blah blah blah. Like a lot of like Mitch was saying, but I think Mitch was still trying to build his foundations where I was like applying those to individual scenarios over and over and over.
think you could be very dangerous, Gio, if you just played a bunch of computer against extreme gammon, right? And you get instant feedback on those problems, right? In real time,
Yeah.
like, oh, whoops,
Yeah.
that was a blunder. In real time, I can right now like realize what I was feeling and see, oh, that's because of this concept that I shouldn't have done that. Or you try to reason out in that moment, when you're actually playing, which is cool. And that's why it was cool to do the after recap, because I could remember like what was I thinking during this doubling decision, what
Right.
this is why I made that decision, why was that wrong. Like it's a very powerful, the math stuff was super powerful. So it was I love the challenge. It was super fun. I appreciate Gio, you being the the punching bag, not the punching bag. What would you be called? The Goliath that I was trying to slay, and we did a bunch on streams. That was fun. Thanks, Perrick, for creating our backgammon layout and stuff, and anyone who watched. So that was fun.
I hope your next year challenge is as fun as that one was. I would gladly do that every year.
Not nearly, and I'm so excited to talk about it.
Well,
All right, well,
keep
let's
going.
talk about it. We're firing along here, but we should. Ooh, I'm running out of batteries. We should.
On what?
On what?
My laptop. I got my laptop in the
You're
basement.
not plugged in?
No.
Oh,
What
my.
an absurd thing to say
see.
in 2022.
Oh,
Wow.
the charger's way upstairs. All right, who wants Mitch? Mitch, let's just keep you on the mic here. What's your challenge for 2022?
All right, buckle in. I'll try and keep it as short as I can, but I do have a lot of to talk about on this one because I've been thinking about it since September, and getting ready, not getting ready, but getting mentally ready and connecting dots. So the kernel of this came for me in September. Article in our local paper called "Is it time to stop drinking?" More Minnesotans are asking themselves that question. And so the thing that struck me about this article, it was kind of the standard, like, pandemic, we're drinking more, people are questioning their relationship with alcohol, things like that. I have a couple quotes here. And the whole thesis of this article is that sobriety isn't like this binary thing anymore. It doesn't necessarily have to be like you're either a raging alcoholic that can't function or you don't drink at all, right? But there's more of this continuum where like, I do feel kind of shitty the morning after I drink a bunch. Like, is that something that I want, or is that worth it? These kind of sober curious questions is what they called. That was like the buzzword, is sober curious. So the one quote is, going sober can be a life-saving choice for someone with a disorder, but a gray area drinker might want to cut back before that rock bottom in sight. Or someone who is sober curious might want to go without booze in search of wellness. And they say the Cali sober might abstain from alcohol and smoke pot instead. So it was kind of this stuff, but what really struck me was this. It was this whole thing. It was a whole article about this stuff, and there was this one stat that she pulled that struck me because it didn't fit anywhere else in the article, and you'll see why else it struck me. So when she was talking about the pandemic stuff, she's like, nearly 1 in 4 Americans say they're drinking more to cope with the pandemic stress, according to American Psychological Association survey conducted in February. And then in parentheses, for no reason, she says, the rate more than doubles for parents of kids between 5 and 7-year-olds. It's like the weirdest stat ever, and obviously
I'm talking to
applies
you, Mitch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why did she choose that tiny stratification, right? I even tried to like socially engineer her a little bit and see if she had a 6-year-old or something, and that's why. But I mean, I think she's obviously implying. I couldn't find it, but I'm sure she does, and that's why I like spoke to her as well.
Did
but
you visit
it's
her
a
kid's
very
school?
no, I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I don't even know if she has kids. Maybe she
Okay.
doesn't. But obviously I have one of those and one almost 5-year-old as well. And so, and I have drank more during the pandemic. Like I started drinking more during the pandemic. I don't know if I would have self-reported that it was to cope with stress. I would probably say it was more like just boredom and yeah, just
Thirst.
like boredom and needing to find small rituals to reward
Insatiable
myself
thirst.
with hydration, that type of
thirsty
thing.
more.
I should clarify. I am talking about drinking alcohol. So that got me thinking about this article. Kind of got me thinking about it. You know, thinking about my relationship with alcohol, that kind of stuff. Then you guys know I got this baby, right? The Whoop, right?
Whoop.
So Whoop is this kind of gimmicky thing that, you know, it's one of these heart rate monitor watches, measures your sleep, measures your recovery. Their shtick is that they've come up with this own proprietary concept of strain, and they pair strain with recovery, and it's only based on like how high your heart rate goes in a day. But they give you a score every morning about like how restorative was your sleep. And it's not just a strict like how many hours of sleep did you get and that gives you your score. It's what did it do to your heart rate and stuff. And then you can pair that with journaling about, you know, did you drink last night? If so, how many drinks did you have? And when was your last drink? And you can start to measure and see how drinking affects your, or any behavior. I chose to do drinking, but how that affects your recovery, right? How ready is your body for, you know, the intense workouts that I do every day, which I don't. But like the Whoop is very
You have
geared
a
towards
stand-up
athletes.
desk. That's pretty intense.
Right. That's only for podcasting. I sit down during the day.
Oh, okay.
Only once every 2 weeks do I stand up for 2 hours at my desk. But
All the other time I'm sitting.
Yeah, I was gonna go over all my stats and stuff. We don't have time to do that, but suffice it to say, I probably drink 60% of the nights that I record. So like 6 out of 10 days, I've had at least a drink. That's not drinking heavily. That's probably 1 out of 10 nights or something. But even a little bit of drinking reduces my sleep score or my recovery score like 20% or something. So that got me curious as well. So I also am not going nuts. So I'm not going to go,
Thank you.
I'm not going for the whole 12 months, right?
Okay.
I'm going to strategically choose a period of, but it's going to be complete sobriety for 4 months. That 4 months starts on February 15th, the day we get back from Palm Springs,
Yeah, okay.
and continues to June 15th. So
Okay.
That's a
between those
good
two,
time to be sober. That's a good time to be sober.
right?
like-
So I want to, and I want to like, so I want to see.
What are you gonna do on
like,
Arbor Day?
I know. Usually I like to get wasted on Arbor Day, but I do want to hit like a bunch of
He's gonna smoke some
situations,
trees.
right? I want to hit going out to eat. I want to hit having friends over for dinner, going over to a friend's for dinner, that type of thing.
What do you mean?
But I
what do you
don't.
mean you want to hit? What does that mean? What?
I want to be in that situation where I need to make
He
that.
wants to be challenged.
Right.
Where I need to make
Yeah,
the
okay.
choice to not order a beer or not have a beer. Or someone offer me something at a party or something.
So are you giving us free license to try to
Tempt?
knock you off your
By all means,
That's-
sure, of course.
That's what friends do.
You can.
Well, not when you have a friend who's actually trying to be like for other reasons.
Right.
Right.
But
For
in
not
this
selfish
situation, it's more of a like
It's
more
like a
of a
personal
game.
discovery challenge type
Okay.
thing, and like
The, the
journalistic.
sober curious, whatever that terminology, it's quite resonant.
powerful, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I just wonder, like
I've been
yeah,
there. I've been there a
Yeah.
lot.
yeah. So
I'm just
Because like some weeks I'm like, oh hey, I went like 6 days without having a drink after work or whatever. Like
Right.
that's a long time. And then I try and remember like back in college where it's like, oh man, I don't want to drink 3 days in a row in college.
Right.
Remember? Right.
Yeah, like
Or like-
college, you never
or
had
like-
one beer.
Right.
Or like,
right. It
well,
was
I'm never going to drink
drinking,
alone in college. I'll only drink if other people are drinking.
Right.
And now
Right.
it's like
There are
the
millions
house is
of other
empty.
people
I'm gonna have I'm gonna have some beers.
Right.
I'm all
Right.
alone.
Right, which like I don't see any problem with, and I'm not like trying
Yeah.
to experiment to quit drinking forever, but I am just kind of curious what
That's
it might
why
do.
the term is so interesting. I think that's the
Yeah,
right term for it. Whatever it is.
Yeah, so sober curious. I'm gonna be sober curious for that 4 months, starting the day we get back from Palm Springs, because I would never
Oh, I'm
taint
so
that
jealous.
experience.
This is such.
What are you
going
going to do to try to have a valid
Oh.
experiment? Because you clearly have an end result in mind, which is you want to see yourself do better without the drinking, right?
I don't know if I have an end result in mind. I like Peric said, I'm curious as to what it will do. It
Are you-
might not
are you
feel any
prepared?
different.
Are you prepared to not be curious anymore at the end of it and be decided that you don't want to drink anymore because like those 4 months, your measurements and your data were so much better or whatever? Are you prepared for that?
Yeah, I'm prepared for that.
But are you prepared for the alternative, which is I wanted there to be a difference, but there wasn't, and I enjoy
Yes,
drinking, so I'm just going to return?
That's honestly what I'm expecting. I'm absolutely expecting to not have. I'm expecting my stats to be better, right? I'm expecting to get more better recoveries, but I'm not expecting that like I'm not gonna want to drink a beer on the golf course or think that that's bad or drink 10 beers on a night in Palm Springs.
Your setup made it sound like you had noticed that in the absence of drinking, your recovery scores got better.
They are.
And
Yep.
you're wondering if you're missing out on something. And that to me seems like a little bit of a biased way to be entering an experiment, is all I'm saying. Now, I don't know how you control it better. Like, you're not going to have somebody randomize whether you're actually drinking alcohol or beer, though that would be an experiment as an offshoot.
Right.
To see if you can figure out which ones were the NA and which ones alcoholic beers based on your Whoop scores.
Right. That would be interesting.
So
I think there's stuff that's gonna be impossible to tease out. So like take podcast night for instance. I typically have 3 tequilas or something, right? And then I'm buzzed, and I make the decision to, instead of just going to bed, I'll play Minecraft for 2 hours until midnight instead of just going to bed, and that affects my score too. Like it maybe not the alcohol, but maybe it's the decisions I make because I'm snacking. Like I kind of want to explore all that and see what's up with that.
I don't know why I feel so strongly about like making this a solid experiment. I feel there's something about like you've picked a significant time period, 4 months that you're going to be devoting to this, and I think you're going in with the assumption that you're going to be stay away from alcohol.
Right? Yeah.
I suspect you will be, but I want you to have like some quantifiable, verifiable data at the end of all of that. I guess
This guy's Whoop.
So the Whoop is the one that is the only real thing. That's just a recovery score. I'm definitely interested in learning more than just about that, about my sleep score.
right.
I think I'm gonna weigh myself, right? Like I want to see if
Sure.
people that I've like floated this to are like, I bet you'll lose 5 pounds in the first 2 weeks or something. It's like, maybe, and maybe that's alcohol. Maybe that's again like less snacking at late at night when I after I've had a couple. Or maybe it's more willing to work out that next day. Any of those things might happen. So yeah.
I'm curious. I'm curious. What is the word I'm going for? Vicariously.
Yeah.
I'm jealous that you picked this. I briefly considered it. I was like, let's go nuts. Let's like not drink for a year. And I was like, I don't want to do that.
I said that too, and then I was like, a year is too much. But then like a month is like
that
not
you figured
enough.
this out. Yeah, this is a really good challenge.
Yeah. And so I've already dabbled a little bit in a non-alcoholic tequila. They put and
This is
like,
a heyday
as soon
for this stuff.
as soon as I started talking about it, I started getting Instagram ads like great. Like I've been talking to my wife about it since September essentially, and I get so many Instagram ads for non-alcoholic cocktails and stuff because don't want to do beer, and I obviously don't want to do wine. So
Coors
I'm
Edge.
probably gonna be doing a lot of cocktails, right? And I don't like sugary cocktails, and so there's a bunch of stuff that I want to try out. So I'll be bringing that to the Twitch stream, right? I'm gonna try and get like a new one each time. Already dabbled in tequila.
I mean, that's great. You've got this plan, but you don't have to. It'd be fine if you just drank water too, right? Do you? I'm wondering
another thing,
where this.
yeah, but I don't think I would be
preparing to need the taste of tequila.
I don't think. So here's my theory. Here's my hypothesis. My hypothesis is that it's not the taste of the tequila, but it is the ritual of having a special drink after my kids go to bed.
Sure.
Or having it at the end of the day of work or whatever, right?
Treat.
And treating it specially, right? Having it in a nice bottle, pouring it in a nice glass. I think that is going to be enough to me, or at least I want to explore that. And if it's not, then I kind of want to know that too, right?
Like, what if you just got into drinking fresh squeezed orange juice instead? That was your like.
We bought for a little while, like we do this constant dance where like my wife will say like, I think we're having too many drinks or whatever. So we'll stop buying giant bottles of rye whiskey and we'll buy other things that are like fancy. Like we bought this, what was it called? It was called Recess. It was, I think you could get it at like GNC, but it was like this hemp-based LaCroix kind of thing. But it's really fancy. It had all these adaptogens and whatever you want to say. And it was like, hey, this could replace alcohol because it's like a special thing. It's really expensive. It's like $4 a can. So you kind of feel like you're doing something. You don't want to waste it. Well, so I'm interested to see what you think of all that ritual type stuff and whether or not the ritual is actually what's important to you or not.
Right.
I'm super jealous of this challenge. I wish
there's actually a non-alcoholic cocktail company called Ritual. Like, what a great name for a non-alcoholic.
But that's like
liquor company.
That's like a AA thing, right? Like
Ritual. Maybe, yeah.
But just like that's a thing. If you're an alcoholic, one of the things you can try initially, I think, is just to like replace the habit and not the substance or whatever the terminology is there. It's right. That's part of it all.
So yeah, there you go. I'm gonna be
Gio, you're muted. Gio.
God
he was
damn
using
it.
his. Oh,
there we go.
I had a lot of stuff going on there. I did have my wireless headphones in, so I heard most of the things. But then, power sources. This podcast is killing me. But Mitch, I'm having a hard time taking you seriously when you keep gesticulating, as you would say, with that stupid dinosaur.
I didn't even notice that.
I did.
I am like, I love it. I love it. Really good challenge too.
Great challenge. Great challenge.
I'll go next.
Okay.
2 challenges.
Oh boy, 2 prongs.
The first one is for Minnick.
Ooh, from or
Still
for?
Here, Minnick?
For
Minnick.
Like, hold on, let me go back. And my challenge is going to be to track the fucking challenges. As Minnick so, astutely pointed out, I am going to track them in a public manner every podcast so that we don't have this same cluster of Mitch assuming he wins at the end of next year. That's challenge 1. Challenge 2.
I don't overdo it.
Trust me, this is a listener challenge party.
Okay.
Challenge 2 is for Messick.
Okay.
I'm going to a live backgammon event that he is at, meeting him, playing backgammon.
Invite me.
With Messick or in the event?
I guess I haven't thought that far ahead. I'm thinking more that this is going to be one of like the weekly league type of things where it's like open play and you can go and hang out.
Did we talk about how amazing that was when we were I wish I would have like saved the chat. But Gio and I were talking about backgammon. Messick popped into chat, and then Gio and I started reminiscing about the days we were going to the Golden Valley VFW, and Messick was in chat like, "Wait, stop! What are you? Stop! the Foreign Legion, and he was like, "That's me. I run that." Like he was the guy running the thing that we were talking about at the taco bar at the Foreign Legion. That was amazing. I can't believe
Yeah.
it.
So
wild.
that's it. I'm going a
Cool.
Messick minute challenge to keep both of them happy this year.
That's
So
good.
the
And you're
back
going
end
to
of the
build a
challenge.
turret on your house, right?
Start a
ultimate
business in
challenge.
it.
Turret office.
Yeah. So those are my challenges. That's it.
Awesome.
Okay.
Peric, what about you?
God, I just want to do Mitch's with them.
Do it.
Do it. I want to
So
do Geo's
bad.
with him.
Do it.
No, so the one I came up with, maybe I will do Mitch's with him. Just not as my official challenge, but there's something
That will
there,
help the data.
brotherhood.
Mm-hmm.
But my challenge is the other day I made pizza dough. And I've made this pizza dough recipe 1,000 times, but maybe not 1,000 times, maybe 4 times. But at any rate, let's just say I was glued to my iPad, making sure I was doing everything correctly. Like I spent more time on my iPad than I did with the ingredients and the recipes and everything. So I'm gonna have a weird summer coming up. I'll probably be at home a lot this summer. Whatever. We have a baby coming in May.
Congratulations.
I don't want
That'll
to
do it.
whatever.
Welcome to hell of 3 kids.
Yeah. So I'm planning on taking an extended time away from work and spending a lot of time with the kids and all that stuff. But I just got to thinking, like, we had a baguette challenge. Do you remember that?
Yep,
I loved
yep.
that. And I have found, like, through the Food Lab cookbook and all that Serious Eats website and all that stuff, I've found a couple of good, like, loaves of bread. And all I remember from baking my own bread was being glued to the iPad and making sure I did everything right, and not truly really understanding what's going on, and just whatever. It ends up being like a very taxing, cumbersome experience. So my goal that I'm going to set for this year is to, like, just get reps, tons and tons of reps, to the point where, so my SMART goal here, Chad, is I want to be able to make a baguette without a recipe. Just, rote, whatever you would call it, muscle memory. I want to make like baguette, because we go and get baguettes. Like, Leah likes making dinners and they're great on their own, and I'm like, this would be really good with a baguette. And so I like go to the grocery store and buy a baguette, like a bake at home thing, like crappy baguette. Anyway, I want to make one of those myself. Like, I just want to have those kind of on hand.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be a big heavy lift. So I want to be able to make a baguette. I want to be able to make a like a sandwich bread, just a loaf. Because sometimes when we have like a nice dinner, air quotes, my definition of a nice dinner is like go buy a cool loaf of bread at Kowalski's or something,
Right.
And
It has like
some
seeds on the top.
and,
Yeah.
like boar's head meat and like some nice cheese and Hellman's mayo, and that's like a really fancy. But I should be able to make one of those myself. Just like like the recipe I have is called a workhorse loaf. I think it's from Serious Eats probably, or something like that. But it's just like a standard sandwich bread loaf. I should be able to make that in my sleep.
Is that like in a bread maker or in the oven?
You put it you cook it in like a La Crusette, like a cast iron stock pot kind of thing. I don't know what, there's maybe a better
But
term
in the
for
oven,
that,
yeah. In the cast iron, in the
yeah,
oven.
no bread maker, just
Yeah. Okay.
in the oven. So
With-
what I want to do is I want to make a baguette. I want to make a like a workhorse loaf type thing, sandwich bread, and then I want to make some sort of fancier one, like something I could bring to a party, like a ciabatta with olives in it or something. And I want to have something that I can just like. I don't have to pull out a cookbook. I don't have to pull up a website. I just like know how to make it. So I want to be able to. I want to be able to make 3 different types of bread without a recipe, and the only way to do that is to make it a ton and just do it over and over and over. So That is
Yeah, it'd be cool to
wild.
also be able to taste other breads and be like, oh, they didn't prove this long, like Great British
Yeah.
Baking Show style.
Oh, I
Be
love
like,
that.
oh, I underproved a bunch of these. This is what happens when you underprove it. I don't know what that means.
I want to be
It means
Parrot
something.
Hollywood.
Yeah, there you go. Cool.
Yeah.
I like
That's
it.
a cool
I think
challenge.
it's a
I like it lot.
shame you're going to try and do this while you're not drinking, because I can see you whipping up so many loaves of bread while you're drunk one night. Just seems like the perfect drunken activity.
Yeah, you should get this stuff locked in before we go on our trip, because a nice warm loaf of bread after I've
Sounds
golfed
good.
and
Ooh.
drinking all day sounds.
Can you
like
imagine, like, if I were so
literally the
good,
best.
it was like, hey, go to Costco. Oh, yeah, just get flour and salt. And then that's all I would
Yeah.
need. And I could make, like, 4 baguettes for lasagna baguettes in the morning or something.
Lasagna
Oh,
sandwiches.
That's exactly what I want to be able to do.
That sounds awesome.
Because it truly is. Like, I made pizza dough the other night, and it was flour, salt, yeast. And it was just it was all about, like, how you form it,
Technique and how you do
how
it.
many
Yep.
times it proves, whatever. Just
There's
memorize
no
that.
eggs in there?
No. Eggs? No.
What do I know?
No.
Are there eggs in a baguette?
No.
Are there eggs in a
Think
pie
so.
crust?
No.
Not in a crust.
Butter.
Butter, salt, and flour.
Yeah.
There's eggs in cakes. Cakes and cookies have eggs.
There you go.
I've got eggs,
I'm
Fokker.
not going to go that far. I just want to do the breads.
Cool.
I'm excited for you. Well,
Nice
I'll round
challenge.
this off. Mine is kind of a challenge within a challenge. So I am purposely going to throw myself into one of the classic New Year's challenges, which is essentially a health challenge, right?
All right.
I'm going to do that on purpose because it's so classically dropped quickly. And I want to like prove myself in that crowd, because I feel like we've spent a decade challenging ourselves to do stupid or hard or weird things. And I feel like we're probably better at it than the average person. Got a little pleasure delay in us, and I can do anything for 2 weeks or whatever. So within that, my specific challenge is I am going to be able to bench my body weight, which is something I've not been able to do for a long
It's over 300
time.
pounds.
I'm definitely, I've really gotten out of exercise routine I once had. I've gained weight, I've lost strength, and I've kind of, every once in a while I'll get back into going to the gym a couple weeks here and there. Classic story, right? And honestly, like, I don't feel that bad about it. Like, it's for good reason. Like, I'm dealing with a lot of shit. Got a couple kids. I don't have 3 like Mitch. But there's been a lot going on. I do, exercise is like not the most important thing. But I want to pick this particular thing. And one of the things I like about it is there's a couple sliders involved, right? One is getting stronger and the other is losing weight, right? And I don't have to lose any weight as part of this challenge if I
Could
feel
just
like
get
I
really strong.
just do it getting strong, or vice versa, right?
Ah, I
I
like
could
it.
try and like really
Machinist.
sit down.
Emaciated Jack.
Benching 150.
December 2022.
So, but honestly, you guys, a couple things. I've started doing this a little bit already because we're a little bit into January. This is going to be more manageable because we have a tonal machine at work, and these are
Neat.
awesome. If you've ever gotten a chance, very cool. Do you
Like
know
a
what it
Bowflex?
is? You've seen ads for.
Is it the thing that like hangs on the wall that has cables and stuff?
Yeah. It's all cables, but it's really pretty sophisticated. So I'll give you an example. I started with bench press, and I got to a place where I was starting to fail, and I looked up at the screen almost like in a spotter, and it dropped the weight as soon as it recognized that. It dropped the weight by 21 pounds, and then another 17 pounds, until I was like, oh, this is actually like perfect spotting. Like I was still
So you were benching over you were
but-
over 38 pounds?
I'm actually a little embarrassed. So like bench your body weight. How do you do that? And they had, week routine or whatever. And so they were going off of like, I think they assumed like 200 pounds start. And they said, all right, so start at 120 pounds. And I
Couldn't do
Nope.
the starting.
I couldn't do the starting,
Right.
which is like, this is something that I've been much
It's not even
stronger
plates.
Mm-hmm.
right? So, yeah, it's not. It's been very humbling to figure out even just starting at. So, I toyed with the idea of like logging yet or not, but I might. I mean, like publicly
Cutting out a little
posting a graph of the progress. You know.
So what
I
about
was
this-
remarking on your audio because your audio keeps cutting out.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
sorry. When you say bench your body weight, you're not meaning max at your body weight, are you? Like, what are you talking rep wise?
No, that's a good question. I am meaning that one rep of my body unsupported will count, but
On the
ideally,
tonal or on with a barbell?
yeah, I'd like to be able to do both. I actually found
Is
the
there a
tonal
difference?
to be harder. There is a difference, and I'm not exactly sure why. Well, it's a difference between a bar and I found myself shaking much more with the tonal versus a bar. I think has enough counterweight that the small movements get canceled out. So I've always heard that that's like your supporting muscles. So your main muscles, pecs and shoulders, maybe a little bit of triceps, but there's a lot of muscles in the shoulder that are stabilizing movement. And if those aren't strong, then you get that shake. And I noticed much less of that and felt strong bar than with the cable machine. So I've been leaning into the we'll see what happens. But
Cool. Good old fashioned fitness challenge.
bingo.
Well, do you guys even want to do a challenge for 2 weeks? I feel like we should just like take another 2 weeks off.
No, we
Are you
should
trolling
get-
me? We always do that the first week of the year.
Yeah,
we
but we
just
also
did it.
don't usually do it for the last 3 weeks, which we just.
I thought we were
should-
supposed to buy an NFT the last 3 weeks. I didn't, so it doesn't matter.
We
But
were supposed to do that. I didn't
Yeah.
either.
You're right.
Did anyone do that?
Gio got a big grin on his face.
I don't want to. Do you want to continue this challenge for another 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I think we should because there's been a lot of chatter.
I can see in the chat that the viewers are going wild. They are vehemently against us changing the format.
Oh yeah.
They're so used to the way we do things that they don't want us to change it.
All right, so let's
We're
extend the
beholden to them.
challenge. The challenge remains to buy.
Oh,
an
correction. You said you would do research by the next podcast.
Oh,
All right, so we're on track. I
have
talked about
done-
NFTs. In the
It
last
stands
3
for
weeks.
I
non-fungible
researched.
token.
I've done
researched.
a ton of research. Seriously, like.
I've got
the-
takes too. That should be the topic for our next podcast as well. We'll just
NFTs?
extend it. Yep.
Cool.
We'll do
We'll
a
have
pillar.
Gio
2-man
present.
pillar. With show
Oh,
notes and
we
everything.
we doing that? Okay, let's roll. Let's roll.
New
Hey, can-
year.
Can we reset this stuff, Barrick?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, but let me just say, the whole not being able to go back and look at challenges and stuff, that's so easy to get around. Like we have a YouTube channel. I can just export these to our YouTube channel, even if we don't
that.
put them public. So just remind me. If you guys could just text me, just say, hey, they live on Twitch for 2 weeks. As long as within the 2-week period, I click export to YouTube, I don't even have to type in a password or anything. It's
Just a
it's all I
button to
have to do.
press.
I just have to do that. And then it will
If
at
I
least
can do
be
this.
saved on the internet. Okay. So we should do that. And then, Gio, you can spend a long time scrubbing through YouTube videos.
God, sounds worse.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to Sig Sir. Can we?
Anybody
reset-
here?
Bring in the list.
Lounge now.
Sorry. Weird flex,
Release
but
the
I
listeners.
crushed in 2021.
It's not close. I'm kind of sad that I don't get to play. Like, I feel like
I was thinking that maybe Perrick should, since you crushed so hard, you should take
Winner.
the first few weeks
Lo-
at least. And be the
sorry. No, loser should be the reader, not the winner. Don't you know what
interesting.
entertainment is?
But then you can't ever get back
Better.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll
because
be
then
back in
next year
next
somebody loses and that person
Oh
comes
yeah,
back in.
yes, get in the following year guaranteed.
You're guaranteed.
But
to
you
get
miss
back in.
out. But you miss out on a year. Ooh. Ooh.
Loser is out.
Starting in 23.
Ah, fuck.
Because we certainly can't expect it.
Chat's just like, yeah.
If Chad knew what he was playing for, maybe he would have come to a few more of those podcasts he missed.
I
That's
gotta
true.
look at my bot here. Can you guys just bear with me for 1 second?
Do I have Trivial Pursuit in my? Probably do.
I could send you 20 cards to get you
Where
through
are my
the year.
scripts?
You could keep them.
Where are my scripts?
We've established that I'm not good at sending
I'm gonna
my
memorize
friend's
them
property back to them.
before I send them to you, though, so that I can win.
Yeah, right. I think I might have Trivial Pursuit, and if I don't, I should.
We could make that a challenge, Chad. Buy Trivial Pursuit.
Then I'll get points for it.
Exactly.
I mean, I feel a little bit bad about forcing you to continue reading the entirety of the year since you've already sat out a year.
We'll see.
Yes.
If you feel bad enough that you show up at the next podcast with Trivial Pursuit cards,
Uh-huh.
we will
might.
let you start reading.
One thing I guarantee is I'm more fluent in English than you are. So that
Well,
will
at
be
least
an
get
improvement.
accurately read cards. That'd be
Yeah.
a welcome change.
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, you guys are the best.
My bot lost the. I have all these custom scripts that I wrote to get all of the scoring working, and I think the app updated. I don't have access to them anymore.
Nice.
Maybe we
know.
should just call it for tonight and get
No,
Sixer
no.
figure out this Sixer thing for next time if we relegate Chad.
No, we can.
Sports reference.
We can. Nice soccer. Nice.
Yeah.
Also,
we
no
can,
listeners
we can
in the
handle
lounge.
this.
Sports.
I'm just
sport.
gonna experiment. Peric.
Do you guys watch Ted Lasso? Are you guys big Ted Lasso people?
Never seen an episode,
Geo is, I
but I've
think.
heard good things.
It's really, really good.
Keep hearing all this really, really good. I'm 5 episodes in and I haven't gotten to the really good part yet, I think.
I don't know. You don't like his story. You don't like his
Fun premise.
mood.
It's just
My
it's too
scripts are-
saccharine sweet and like cliche. I
How do you
guess.
feel about Roy?
Cliche old guy that's gonna be like the leader of the team. Like it's just all cliche. Like and clearly, so I just watched the episode. Spoiler alert. Where he benches the star player or whatever halfway through to like build team unity. It's just like a very, of course that was gonna happen. Absolutely, of course that was gonna happen. Of course the star cocky kid is gonna become friends with the old codger. Not maybe not friends, but like, they're gonna make amends so that they can come together for the team. And of course, the main lady's head scheme is gonna backfire, and her scheme to like tank the team is going to backfire because of Ted Lasso's like optimism. It's just like, see where this is going.
Back to the beginning of the podcast. I feel like you are the Grinch. Like you just hate happiness.
There's some funny young one-liners, but it's just not
take
doing
the-
anything for me. And everyone
take the
just
greasy
raves
black
about
peel.
it. Just raves about it. And so I
You
just
guys, did you watch Don't Look Up?
Mm-mm.
What?
What is
None
that?
of you have?
I've
It's
never even
like
heard of
the
it.
Yeah,
Second most viewed thing on Netflix right now.
Really?
It's a Netflix movie starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Meryl
Is it good?
Streep. Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
think
it's
it's like- sad. It might be exactly what you're looking for if you don't like happiness, Mitch.
so it is. It's a comedy. It's a how do I say
Dramedy.
it? It's kind of a dramedy, but it's a commentary. So it's kind of like a spoof as well, all rolled into one. But
Dromedary.
yeah.
Commentary.
Commentary.
Comedy and Terry. What's the premise?
Premise is scientists discover an asteroid hurtling toward Earth, and then you Get to
Original?
watch,
Real original?
then you get to watch how Earth responds.
Okay.
When is like Bruce Willis? What's his role?
He, I think, has to fly a spaceship and
Is there an
land on the
Aerosmith soundtrack?
asteroid, and then send a nuke to the middle of the asteroid.
Yes, with Billy Bob. Exactly. I love this show.
Mhm.
One of my favorites.
And then at one point, there's aliens that arrive, and someone welcomes them. It was like-
Welcome to Earth.
Did you see he has a show now called that's like Planet Earth, but just guided by Will Smith? I
No.
thought that was clever.
Perky,
Yeah.
figure this out yet? I'm very tired and I have a lot of video games to play still tonight.
Are you guys still playing Halo? I kind of stopped.
Hell yeah.
Are you a top tier general or whatever the fuck
Geos.
it is on there now?
Geo for
You're,
sure is.
you're Onyx.
My
Onyx.
back
And
hurts
so
from standing
What's your Onyx ranking?
It's like 1570.
So you're the 1,570th best Halo
No.
player in the world.
I don't think it works like that.
Once you get to 1500, you're Onyx, and then you get points up to 2000.
Oh.
Approximately 2000. Then if you're the top 250 players in the world,
Then you
No,
get
champion.
I don't think that exists anymore.
It doesn't?
No. If you look at Lucid on Twitch, he's like 15 or 1598.
No.
No.
2098? 1998? That could be.
He's like a couple points away from the max. I think he's rank 1 in the world. Onyx.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
My bot isn't working. I honestly think like I put so much work in that bot, and now I go into the tools, and I used to be able to control all this bot stuff. It's giving us scores, and it's gone. Like as of
Is it kind of like the Y2K bug where you did
I think it's a
allow
Y.
it to-
Yeah, it's a Y2K20 bug. 2K21 bug.
Do you guys want to? Should we just wait, save till next week till Chad gets a card?
No,
Yes.
I want to play. I want to play.
Yes.
You want to play?
Let's just
Let's
do
not
for
keep score.
fun.
Let's just play. Mitch, you're just gonna
What
go play Minecraft.
city?
I'm not. I'm gonna go to bed.
What city erected a life-size statue of sitcom character Mary Richards tossing her hat?
Mitch.
Parrot.
Mitch
Minneapolis.
is
Damn it.
correct.
Who's Mary Richards?
Mary
I
Tyler
love
Moore.
Lucy.
I
Or
love
Mary Tyler
Lucy.
Moore.
Mary Tyler
Not
Moore.
I Love Lucy.
Mary Tyler
Yeah.
Moore.
I've driven by that house.
We used to live right by it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, next question. What British superstar crooned a 45-minute set at Pete Sampras's wedding?
Parrot.
Mitch.
Parrot.
Elton John.
Correct. Tie ball game. Except for Chad. Next question. What outfit withdrew a line of Let me just make sure
Aha.
this is right.
There we go.
What outfit withdrew a line of basketball shoes after complaints that their logo resembled the word Allah?
Parrot.
Mitch.
I think it was Perrick.
No, it was not.
Yeah, I would say so.
Perrick?
Adidas.
No. Mitch was next.
Nike.
Nike is correct. Nicely done. I did hear the D last of Chad.
I did guess before I had any guess. I was just gonna
He
name
just
a shoe
says that
brand.
tiny D. It's hard to perceive.
That took a second. It's probably the delay that Geo experienced.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
All right, next question. What magazine made capitalist tool fortune cookies? Forbes? Fortune?
Mitch.
Or
Parrot.
Mitch?
Fortune.
No. Perrick?
Money.
No. Chad, would you like me to?
No,
finish
he
the
can't get the can't. He can't get it again. Come on.
What magazine made capitalist tool
Forbes,
fortune
Chad.
cookies? Forbes, Fortune, or Money?
Forbes.
Forbes is correct. Chad is on board. Don't let
Outplayed
him
you guys.
win. Don't let him win, you guys. Second to last question. What nation's paleontologist discovered the largest dinosaur footprint ever seen next to massive deposits of dinosaur dung in 2001? Chad?
China.
Chad is correct.
Suck it.
Chad, the worst trivia player on the podcast, is currely tied for the
Well,
lead.
we don't know that
Good
for
thing
sure
that
yet,
bot's
Jeffrey.
down. Good thing that's bot's down.
Yeah, I mean, this
in.
one doesn't count.
We don't.
Last question.
Oh,
So Mitch has 2.
that wasn't a
Chad
sports
has
question?
2. No. Peric has 1. Last question, unless there's a tie.
What game is this?
What nickname did Jamil Blackman claim he'd coined for a 76ers superstar in a 2001 lawsuit?
Mitch. Air Jordan.
No.
76ers.
I have a second guess.
Who's that guy?
Way too long. Name a basketball player nickname.
76ers superstar in 2001.
Who's that guy? T.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Peric.
Peric?
Who is that guy? Carmelo.
No. Chad?
That's his actual first name.
Yeah.
This is a point guard. Allen Iverson is who I'm thinking of. Is that the guy?
AI.
AI, yeah, I guess. With A.
The answer is... The answer.
The answer.
Who is that?
Allen
Carmelo.
Iverson.
It's Carmelo.
He was known as the answer.
So I get the tiebreaker at least.
Oh, Beta Brandon. The answer was his nickname, maybe?
Yes.
Nailed it. You sure did.
Nailed
Should
it.
have been in the lounge, bro. Coward.
Nailed it. There we go.
Jeffrey, I just want to say for the record, we don't know that I am the worst trivia player on this show because we haven't seen you play yet.
True.
I'm bad at most things, so
I'm definitely
The worst one that ever played.
I'm definitely worse than Mitch, Peric, or the listener.
we'll see what happens next week.
Although I kind of showed out tonight.
Yeah.
You definitely
Man, you
showed
look
out.
smug. Man, you look smug when you said that.
God, I have to take these moments because next time we'll have.
You should have said showed up tonight. Then you would have.
No,
really
it's showed
said-
out. You're right. He was right.
Showed out? Is that like a
Show
horse
up
term?
and show out. No.
Show
Show up
out
and
is
show
like-
out is a thing.
Sounds like a thing.
Yeah.
Are
Maybe
we
if it's on
raiding?
a
We
Trivial
still doing
Pursuit
that
card.
thing? We still raiding?
I don't know.
Not tonight.
I'm not doing
It's a very late night.
Too late.
It's the latest podcast, the longest podcast we've ever done on Twitch for sure.
That's funny because remember what you said to us coming in? Like, this is going to be short on content. Classic.
Yep.
I didn't hear that. My
We get-
computer
yeah,
was
we
still
get
booting.
We had 2 hours, yeah.
My
Well-
wife also said that she's annoyed that she can't listen to the podcast in real time anymore. So we got to get that stuff on YouTube so people can listen to this. I'm going to set a
Why?
calendar
Because your
reminder.
internet is bad?
No, she just wants to do other stuff right now. Like, you know what I
We
mean?
can watch him on Twitch for 2 weeks, but we're now going to get him
You
on
might want to.
YouTube.
You might want to school her on the definition of real time and what that means. Because when she
I'm
was
just-
listening to the podcast, it was not real time.
I'm just gonna. Well, we got this figured
It
out.
was the
I got an
opposite.
idea.
It was fake
And
time.
it sounds like, in fact, she's choosing not to watch us.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's cool.
Anyway, and for our
I've made the
listeners who are
same
still in
decision many
chat,
times.
I'm very happy we made the switch to Twitch personally still, because the stuff that goes on in chat and the Discord and having people join Sig Sur, none of that stuff would have happened with the old podcast. So I'm very happy with where we're at.
Agreed.
Especially
Thank
like
you.
the
Thank
amount
you,
of effort
loyal.
that we have to do is a little bit lower, which I like, but also I feel like we've gotten some really good benefits out of it. So
Sure.
because people don't have to email us, just chat.
We're here.
Like,
we're right
it's
there.
easy.
Yeah.
So thank you to all of our loyal listeners. We good? Outro. They all left. I thought I got a good night, ladies there. Guess not. See you later, everybody.